This will be the most spectacular departure ever. I just need to prepare my escape pod for launch, adjust the harpoon, light the fuse, and then it's showtime. The escape pod is connected to that very powerful electromagnet via a long chain. Once the magnet is attached to the Organon cruiser, I can reel in the chain with a pedal-operated winch system and pull myself and the pod up. Then, the cruiser will bring me directly to Elysium. This time, nothing can go wrong.
Deponia is a point-and-click adventure, in the same vein as the old Sierra and LucasArts games. I'm old. Shut up! Deponia is actually the first game in a 4-game series. Deponia, Chaos on Deponia, Goodbye Deponia, and Deponia Doomsday.
Why so cranky?
Why? You have destroyed my mailbox, devastated my backyard, gobbled down all my food supplies, and if I find out that the disappearance of my favorite pair of boots is connected in any way to the construction of your ridiculous escape pod, may God have mercy on your soul.
I had to carry the black powder in some kind of vessel, didn't I?
What?
Nothing.
So the game technically has a tutorial, but it's just a slideshow. It sucks. And in any case, you can't do anything wrong. Not get yourself killed and lose a bunch of progress wrong. Press buttons often enough, you'll figure out the controls. Oh wow, I've forgotten it did this.
It's kind of pathetic, you get all erratic about dirty dishes congesting the sink. I'm tired of your bothers, remember our fathers that dwelled in a world filled with rubbish and stink. But when all hope was lost, someone raised from the dust. He was handsome and cunning, his haircut had style. Courage was shining in his eyes as he said, screw you guys, mind your own business, I'm off now, goodbye. Huzzah, he's off now, goodbye.
The chapter songs get more hilarious as the series progresses, another reason to check them all out. As I said, Deponia is a point-and-click adventure. You wander around, you talk to people, pick up everything that isn't nailed down or held by someone with a bad case of ownership, and examine everything. Just in case something you see or do proves important later, because everything that can be selected is important. Enter Rufus. Rufus is technically a daydreamer. I say technically because he doesn't just dream about going to Elysium. He actively works to get there, to reach the flying luxury city in the sky, and he's willing to risk life and limb to get there. Occasionally, the life and limbs he risks are his own. Besides, Rufus isn't nasty or bad. As such, okay, he kind of is. He's an egotistical, self-serving slob, but not bad, I think. You kind of root for him despite his faults, and you totally get why he wants off Deponia. It's a planet-sized trash heap, where radiation is flavouring, and clean water is a myth.
Do you have any idea where I can get clear water?
Clear water? Pfft, that stuff only exists in legends.
So what? My whole project is legendary.
Legend has it that your father once found clear water. That's how he got to be mayor of Kuvak. They say that there are still a few bottles hidden away in the town hall.
That's my old man, all right. He left Deponia, but instead of bequeathing me his fortune, he hid it.
At least he left you the divining rod. Maybe it is possible to find some water with it.
Dream on.
Another thing Rufus is, inventive. And persistent, even in the face of all the known laws of physics telling him to sod off. As I said, he's desperate to reach Elysium. To that end, his latest scheme is a it's some sort of rocket pod that will apparently grapple an Elysium ship as it flies past. Of course, it's not that easy. Even packing a toothbrush for the journey is fraught with trouble.
Whoa! What the toothbrush bailed out on me. Guess I should have kept it in a more germ-free environment. Come on, brushy, brushy, brushy. Come to Papa. Oh, crap. I need a better plan to catch it. The mouse skedaddled long ago, which doesn't mean that its plan was better than mine. Ouch! Now the little bugger's in for a surprise. Come on, brushy, brushy, brushy. Come to Papa. Ha! Gotcha! Ha! Gotcha! I'll make you suffer the next time I brush my teeth.
One thing I really like is how you can cycle between all the on-screen stuff using the shoulder buttons. In ye olde days, you had to pan the mouse across the screen left to right, top to bottom, until the cursor highlighted on something that you hadn't noticed before, until you found something new to click on or do something with. This takes the tedium out of that. There's also the occasional actual puzzle to solve, or should I say a more traditional type of puzzle. Usually the solution is obvious, like here. Get the sights over the selected section of track. It's not necessarily easy to reach the solution, mind you. Rufus's plan, well, any of his plans, don't quite go according to. Enter Goal. Goal is from Elysium, and he sees her as his surefire ticket out of here. She also spends half the game unconscious while Rufus either chases or ferries her around, which is hilarious. Sometimes what you're supposed to do is heavily telegraphed, usually by someone just straight up telling you what you're supposed to do.
She's unconscious. What's wrong with her? What does she need?
To be more conscious, obviously. For further tests, she would have to be awake. Unfortunately, none of my remedies seem to work.
Well, how about some really strong coffee?
Ha! The coffee that can be of help here needs to be brewed.
Doesn't every coffee need to be brewed?
Yes, right, but
Hey, not to worry, Dr. Gizmo. I have a plan.
do the world a favor and spare us your plans, Rufus. Your wacky plans have never done anyone any good, except that the mayor granted me a larger file cabinet for patients' histories.
Other things you're supposed to do aren't as obvious, like using a cat to get hold of a telecom's headset, for example. And that's one of the easier things to figure out. Wait till you get to the bloody parrot. I like the sense of humour here. The game is clearly not taking anything that happens seriously, and is having fun with its premise. No matter how badly things go, Rufus always walks away from it with a wry comment.
One more time.
In fact, now that I think about it, the game not taking itself seriously is probably why I think Rufus isn't quite as bad as he probably is. It's one of those games where missing a single action on a single thing can obstruct your progress for an hour or more while you try to figure out what the hell you've missed. That happened to me only once in this playthrough, but I did hit a couple of 30-minute speed bumps as well. For these kind of games, that's perfectly normal. I was prepared for it, but it might be off-putting to anyone who isn't used to this genre's unique puzzling style. The music is decent, and the art style has a very nice hand-drawn look. All the characters are fully voiced. It is obvious that the game's audio isn't the best. The voices aren't quite clipped right, and the game itself is very quiet. You'll have to turn your sound system up for this one, and I kept the subtitles on as well.
I'm a handyman myself.
Ah, a colleague. Very good. What are you working on at the moment?
Roughly speaking, a plan to reach Elysium.
Why, look at you, daring to try the impossible. I like that. There's a man who doesn't get distracted by the impossibility of the task at hand.
Exactly.
One who'd rather risk a bloody nose before he accepts that he can't break through a wall with his head.
Yeah, exactly.
I like you, Rufus. Always towards the sun. And when the wings start melting, he makes sunglasses from the molten wax.
Yeah, I'm a pretty cool guy.
Sometimes the puzzles can completely stump you as to what exactly you're supposed to be doing with it in the first place. This one was the only puzzle I literally had no clue what to do with, until I had a moment of inspiration and saw the solution. But until that happens, you're just kind of stuck. You can skip the puzzles, but where's the fun in that?
Hello, Hannock.
Hey, well...
Rufus.
Ah! I'm really terrible with names.
Hello, Hannock.
Oh, hey,
Rufus.
exactly.
The seats are covered in tasteless pink leatherette. A puppet is pirouetting in the corner, and on the driver's sign it says, Sugar Puff. Stupid name. About my key again.
Again? Well, if you insist. What was your name again?
Sugar Puff.
Sugar Puff? Maybe I found your key, Sugar Puff.
Hello again.
Hey, hello, Sugar Puff.
No.
Bye, Sugar Puff.
So you have no problem remembering that name?
Seems like it.
Now, at this point, I would like to say, you can buy each Deponia game from the PlayStation storefront for £10 a piece. Except I can't say that. Well, I could, I just did, but I'd be lying. The third game in the series, Goodbye Deponia, can no longer be found on the store. After a cursory check on Google, I actually discovered that Goodbye Deponia had been delisted by Sony because of a scene where you trick a black-skinned woman into dancing like a monkey and being addressed like a monkey. Oh dear. Yeah. If you're still desperate to play the whole series, you'll have to go buy them on Xbox or Steam instead. They're still all up on there.
Look, the rails are still warm. What? Don't say you've already got one of these new infrared visors. No.
My beard sonar has gone to red alert. They have to be somewhere close by.
I'll send a helmet fax to the bailiff immediately. You two are shitting me, right?
Hold on for a second. My shoulder seismograph is giving me strange readings.
You're right. I feel it too. Guys, strange. According to the soul barometer in my boot, the ground pressure hasn't changed.
My sock spectrometer is still processing the data.
Guys.
We don't get many games like this anymore. We get the odd one or two, but it's a far cry from the heydays of LucasArts and Sierra. You can still get certain choice titles from yesteryear on the PlayStation Store. Day of the Tentacle, Grim Fandango, Monkey Island, and there are some others as well, such as Tangle Tower, which I reviewed not so long ago, or Edna and Harvey, another of this developer's works. Definitely check them out if you're interested. But most games these days appear to either be heavily into action-orientated or simple stuff that wouldn't look out of place on a mobile device. You know what I mean? To stand a chance of most of the older ones that are still around, you'll have to go to Steam or something on PC. Flight of the Amazon Queen and The Dig are both up on there. But the Sierra games have become either impossible to find or expensive rarities on CD. I like this game because it's different. Because you have to use your brain in a different way. Action games require you to react in the moment. whereas this is more about finding clues and objects, then sitting down and slowly putting the pieces together. No rush. You can't fail, only get stuck. These sometimes obtuse puzzles may annoy some people, but that's what the internet's for. If you're a fan of puzzle games, Deponia and its fellows are easy recommends. Just remember that on PlayStation at least, one of them is missing.